Hey everyone, it's Rihanna and welcome back to another video. So today I have a DVD haul for you guys. I've picked up some really great stuff over the past couple of weeks and I thought I'd share it with you guys. So let's get on with what I've bought recently. So the first film that I want to share with you guys you probably saw in one of my vlogs, and that is James and the Giant Peach, which is a film I watched tons as a child. It's based off a popular Roald Dahl novel and I think it's such a well done stop motion animation and it's just such a fun and creative children's film. This film definitely reminds me of that kind of creepy Tim Burton stop motion animation style, and I really love that style of animation, and as a kid this film did creep me out in certain parts. It has a very creepy feel to it, but it is a very well done animation and very underrated as well. If you are an animation fan, I would definitely recommend this film. It's a really good mixture between stop motion animation and live action cinema. The next film I have to share with you guys is a film I actually haven't seen since it came out in the cinema, and that is Prisoners. I remember seeing this in the cinema and just not breathing for the whole runtime. It's a super intense mystery thriller starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman, and it's directed by the fantastic Denis Villeneuve, who his most recent film, Arrival, blew my mind. All of his films blow my mind. He is such an auteur when it comes to his directing style, and that is nothing short in Prisoners. If you haven't seen this already, I think it's an incredibly underrated film, along with most DVDs in this list apparently. I'm going to be saying underrated a lot, so sorry about that. Prisoners has great acting, great art direction, great cinematography, and obviously great direction from Denis Villeneuve. If you haven't seen this one yet, definitely check it out. It is so good. Next up we have a blast from the past, a film I loved in my childhood and still love today, which is Matilda, which is also based off a Roald Dahl novel along with James and the Giant Peach. I loved this film as a kid, I love this film now. I recently just rewatched it and just loved it just so much. It still holds up and I bawled my eyes out with this film. I got about 10 minutes in and just started crying. It's beautiful. I think Mara Wilson's great in this as the little girl Matilda. I think it's a great story. I just overall think it's a great kids film and just brings me so much nostalgia and joy when I watch it. Next up is a kind of another nostalgic film which I think is underrated as a children's film and as a fantasy film, and that is Fairy Tale: A True Story. Used to watch this so many times when I was a child and absolutely loved it. This was back when I was a little 8-year-old girl who still believed in fairies and was into all things fairies. I loved Peter Pan when I was a kid. Fairy Tale: True Story tells the story of two young girls called Elsie and Frances who discover fairies in the woodland behind Frances's house, and the world goes crazy over these fairies. It's such a beautiful and enchanting tale, and as I said, underrated. If you haven't already watched it and you're into this sort of thing, I think maybe it'd work better if you're a child, but I don't know, maybe give it a shot. I still love this film now. It's probably not as good as when I was 8 and loved fairies, but you know, it's still beautifully done. Up next is a film I was reminded of how great it was from this year's Sing Street, which is directed by John Carney, who also directed Begin Again, which is just such an uplifting and entertaining and underrated, I said it again, film about an aspiring singer-songwriter played by Keira Knightley in the film, who is pursued by a music producer who is struggling in his life and career, played by Mark Ruffalo. And this film just has such great music, such great characters. John Carney has this way of manipulating your emotions in his films, and I hate and love him for it at the same time. He'll make you cry, he'll make you laugh. This is such an uplifting and just beautiful story of just music and how it changes lives. He does that a lot with his films. I mean, Once made me sob for a million years. Begin Again just gives me all of the feelings, and Sing Street just made me so happy. John Carney needs to make more films. Bit late for Halloween now, but around Halloween time I bought The Addams Family, which is one of my favourite movies to watch around Halloween. I mean, how could you not love this misfit bunch of a family? We have Morticia, we have Gomez, Uncle Fester, Wednesday Pudgley, Lurch. I mean, everyone in this film is just so great character-wise. I love this family. I mean, I feel like I'd fit right in with them. Addams Family and Addams Family Values, which is just as good as this film, are just perfect films to watch at Halloween and just ultimate great comedy and dark comedy that is right up my street. I will never get sick of these films. Up next is a film I still have the cellophane on, and that is Spy, directed by Paul Feig, starring Melissa McCarthy. I really enjoyed this film the first time I watched it, and I rewatched it recently. Didn't quite enjoy it as much as I did the first time I saw the film, but I still think it's a really great comedy film, and I love Melissa McCarthy in this role as a person who works for the FBI, and she works kind of undercover, under the root. She's the person talking in your ear, but when they need someone to go undercover for them, she is picked out. And it's just so hilarious because Melissa McCarthy is so hilarious in most of her films. Most. Let's not talk about Tammy. Let's not do it. But yeah, this film stars the likes of Jude Law and Rose Byrne, and surprisingly Jason Statham, who is probably the funniest person in this film. One of those films that makes me really, really happy, and on multiple rewatches I still find it funny, so I kinda had to buy Spy. And last but not least is another film that I just bought today and is still in its wrapping, which is this year's The Nice Guys, directed by Shane Black, starring Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. I've been meaning to get this for the longest time. I absolutely loved this film. It was hilarious. The acting was great, and I just overall loved it. I watched it twice in the cinema and just adored it. The story revolves around two guys, Ryan Gosling's character, who is a personal investigator, and Russell Crowe's character, who's kind of a vigilante-ish type person who solves crimes around Los Angeles, and they have to team up and take down this conspiracy revolving around the porn industry in the 70s of Los Angeles, and it's just hilarious. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe work perfectly together as a comedy duo, and just Ryan Gosling. I don't need to say anything else, he's perfect. This is one of those films that I could easily see there being a sequel, and the sequel maybe not being as good as the first one, but I would still probably like to see a sequel with these characters. I would like to see the same team return because I feel like there are so many more possibilities for this dynamic duo. I'm going to be rewatching this film very, very soon. It's one of my favourite films of 2016. And that is all I have today for this DVD haul. Let me know what you thought of my picks down below in the comments, and what have you guys been purchasing recently. If you like this DVD haul, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing lots more TV reviews and movie reviews for you guys very, very soon. As usual, all my social media links are down below in the description if you want to come follow me, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye!